Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Dear Diary. I am in my kitchen today, and it is 11:30, 11:40 by now, probably, or 12. I don't know. And I have assignments to do. I did a quiz right now. I finished a quiz, but I luckily got a 38 out of 40 on one of my final quizzes. So, yay me. And I did it without studying. So, yeah, I did that. Everybody stand up and applaud me. Anyways, um, I wasn't gonna report. Fucking idiot. I wasn't gonna record a podcast. My hair is looking kind of crazy, but whatever. I wasn't gonna record a podcast today, but I was like, I have a lot on my mind, and I've been pretty stressed today, so I feel like this is a good way for me to declutter my brain. But anyways, again, I have notes on things I want to talk about, just so I kind of have a little bit of a structure. So if you see me looking down, that's why. But updates besides my semester almost being over. Um, I, work has been good. Just been busy at work. I have 2 more weeks before I get out of work for spring break, but I leave to Europe pretty soon, which I'm excited about. But like traveling is so fun. I just hate packing. If I could travel and just not pack and somebody pack all my shit for me, like it used to be when I would travel when I was younger and my mom would pack everything for me. Not to say she doesn't help me pack anymore. Luckily, I'm still a spoiled baby who her shit gets packed by her mom. Well, she doesn't pack everything, but she helps me a lot. But even then, with her help included, I still get so stressed and hate packing. So the day that I am living alone and traveling completely alone, I can't even imagine how stressed I'm going to be having to pack if right now when I have the help, I already feel like I'm going to crash out. I have a mental breakdown. Anyways, yeah, I still have to pack. And I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate packing. Hate it. But whatever. It's worth it in the end. Um, I've been doing stuff to start maintaining myself, When the winter comes, and if you're a man watching this, it'll probably mostly be women, but for any men who are possibly watching this, I will tell you a secret. We don't shave during the winter. At least I don't. And I don't give a gaff. I will sit here and admit it. During the winter, I do not shave. So is my leg hair grown out? Absolutely. Was my armpit hair grown out so much you could possibly twist the hairs in there? That's so nasty. I can't believe I just said that. Was my armpit hair extremely grown out as well? Absolutely. Is my upper lip hair fully grown out? Yes. And are my eyebrows not done? Yes. But it was winter. I was in hibernation. Okay? I had nobody to impress. And if I want to be a hairy girl during the winter, I'm going to be a hairy girl. And if you have a problem with that, fuck you. Okay? It's my body, my choice. The same applies to any other woman out there or person out there who doesn't want to shave. If you don't want to shave, don't shave. It's winter. The extra hair keeps me warm. It's like an extra layer. As mammals, that's how we were built in this society, in this world, to have hair on our bodies. And if you have a problem with that, something is wrong with you. Not me, wrong with you. But yeah, I hadn't shaved in a while, so now I'm starting to shave because the sun is out. I'm starting to wear more short sleeves. I'm planning on wearing more skirts again and shorts and stuff. So, but everything shower will be coming next week. because it is the week before I leave to Europe and I want to be clean. I want to feel fully clean and brand new, So I'm holding off for one more week. I did, however, and this is TMI, but this is my podcast and I can talk about whatever I want. And I'm an adult. I'm 21 years old. And if I want to talk about this, I can. Mom, if you're watching this, you were in the room when it happened. So, uh, is there any boundaries here at this point? Probably not. I got a Brazilian. So I am starting little to by little to feel like squeaky clean, but I felt very vulnerable. That was like the most intimate thing I have done in a while. Getting a Brazilian wax, like that was very, I was in a very vulnerable state. I was like, after I was done, I was kind of just laying there, like, you know, but I feel clean. She's clean. She's ready for whatever comes her way. So, um, yeah, I'm getting my eyebrows done next week, which I'm excited about. I feel like my eyebrows make or break my face, and lately I've been hating my face because my eyebrows are not done. So once I have them done next week, I will be unstoppable. Don't play with me. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Um, and actually, speaking of hair, I saw a TikTok that came up on my For You page, and it was this girl or this person that I don't know how they identify. This person came up on my For You page, and they were talking about the theme of like body hair and stuff, and they were saying how like men and like we as women have a lot of insecurities about our bodies, about like those types of things, stretch marks, this and that, like. And I am one of those women. I do feel like one of the reasons I'm a little bit afraid of sex is because, you know, you're in a very vulnerable state. Like you are, you know, everything is out. Everything is out. And but she was talking about how a real man, a true man, not a boy, a man doesn't care about that stuff. A man will just, it doesn't change for them how the act of sex happens if you have stretch marks or whether you have body hair or whether you're on your period or whatever. A man, a true man, doesn't care because at the end of the day, those things don't change their performance during sex. And watching that TikTok made me feel a lot better because lately I've been a very hairy girl. And usually I don't really care, but I feel like now that it's starting to get hotter, I'm like, damn, I need to start shaving. And I am going to shave because that's my preference. I prefer to shave, but I should be shaving for me, not to impress anybody. And so I don't know what the point of me talking about that was, but yeah, I just felt like sharing that. I also wanted to talk about, I guess that I also want to talk about like, it's because it's been on my mind. I saw this TikTok too of Erica Titus. I don't know how you say her name, but Erica, and she's on a TikToker, and she was talking, I think, on a podcast maybe of hers or a YouTube video. I don't know what she was talking about. She was opening up about how she's 21 or 22 and she's never had her first kiss, and she feels so ashamed about it. And to a certain extent, I can relate to her. Not on never having had my first kiss, but I did have my first kiss pretty late in life. Like I was 18 or 19 when I had my first kiss, and I remember before that I was so embarrassed because a lot of my friends lost their virginities in high school. I A lot of my friends had their first boyfriends in high school. A lot of my friends had their first kisses in high school, whatever. And I feel like I've been a pretty late bloomer, like I said, I didn't have my first kiss until I was 18. Uh and um you know, I haven't done anything more than make out with people because I don't know. And The fact that I'm so uncomfortable sharing, that I'm, you know, just comes to show that, like, what's the rush, you know? I feel like in this society, we've been programmed to do things more quickly, I feel like people are getting into relationships younger, people are starting to party younger, people are starting to drink at a younger age, smoke at a younger age, do all these things at a younger age. And I have felt the pressure at times, you know. A lot of my friends sometimes talk about things that I've never done before, and I'm like, am I missing out on something? And maybe I am, but there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, I shouldn't feel pressure to have sex. I shouldn't feel pressure to Nobody should feel pressured to have their first kiss. Nobody should feel pressure to do anything. Everything happens at your stories written by you, and you choose when you add more onto your story. And if, I don't know, you decide you don't want your first kiss to just be at a house party with your best friend's friend when you're 18, then that doesn't have to be when you have your first kiss. It can be when you're 25. Actually, 25 I feel like is a stretch. See, now I'm the problem. I'm the type of person who causes the problem. I shouldn't judge people based on when they decide to do things for the first time. That's not how it should work. Everything happens at its own pace. I'm not making any sense, but I hope I am making sense. But anyways, yeah guys, virginity rocks, and it's okay. It's okay. Everything happens within its own designated time, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because I feel like I said a lot of people are very ashamed a lot of the times, especially in their 20s as grown adults, to share that, they haven't done stuff like that. Like Erica, who's ashamed that she hasn't had her first kiss. Some people have never been on a date. Some people have never had boyfriends or girlfriends at 20 something. That's fine. Who cares? It's none of your business. But it sucks that a lot of us feel a lot of pressure nowadays to, you know, do things because it's so normalized for everything to happen so quickly. But anyways, moving on from that, I've been drinking a lot of energy drinks, guys. And here's the thing: I used to have a caffeine addiction. It was really bad, really mad. Why am I a fucking addict, bro? First, it was nicotine. Now, then it was caffeine. Now it's back to caffeine. Okay. But my caffeine addiction was so bad for a while. Like, I remember, especially in high school, I could not survive if I did not have my coffee in the morning. And there were times, especially during COVID time, where I would have at least 8 cups of coffee a day, maybe more. And no, I was not having no black coffee. Like, I was having like the sugary ass creamer. Half of the coffee was like creamer. It was just so bad. So bad that when I decided it was time for me to quit drinking caffeine, I got withdrawals. Literal withdrawals, like physically sick, nauseous, shaking, shivers, fever, throat, like just bad, 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 bad. That's how bad my caffeine addiction was. And since then, I drink tea in the morning, green tea to get my caffeine source. But one of my coworkers introduced me to Alani energy drinks, and they're actually so good. They are so good, and I feel euphoric after I drink them. So I'm not necessarily addicted where I feel like I need one every day, but I have been drinking one every time I know I'm going to the gym, which is like 2, 3 times a week. So is that good? Probably not. Caffeine from an energy drink is never good. But my friend Vanessa, if you're watching this, shout out to you. I was talking to her about it at work, and she's like, you know what? It's better than drinking, and it's better than smoking. So you do you, girl, and drink your energy drinks. And I said amen to that. So I have been drinking a lot of energy drinks. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably not, but whatever. My performance at the gym has been great because of that. And it's preparing me for the caffeine that I will be consuming constantly when I'm out of Europe, drinking my cappuccinos or my espresso in the morning. Thank you very much. Also, guys, can we talk about men who are written by women? Please, let's talk about it. I want role models so bad. If you don't know who role model is, where are you living under a fucking rock, Patrick? Like, I have been listening to role models music for since high school, probably since like my junior year of high school or my senior year. And I just when he was with Chamberlain, when he was with oh my god, I cannot talk. When he was with Emma Chamberlain, I love them together, and I feel like this is a universal opinion that everyone has. People love them together. But thank you, Emma, for breaking this man's heart because the music that has been putting out is just so fucking good. And I'm so mad that I don't get to see him live. I am so mad that I do not get to be Sally. You know what I would do if I was on that stage? I would eat. Everybody in the crowd would be gagged. I don't care. I fear I would eat him. I ate him right the fuck up. That would be me. Timothy and Bones and all, when he's like, I ate him right the fuck up. That would be me if I was Sally brought up on stage to dance with role model. I just know I would. I just know I would. And maybe that's why the universe hasn't given me the opportunity to go to one of his shows because the universe knows he would be completely gagged, and so would the whole audience. And that's all I gotta say. Love role model. Love him down. Love it so much. And yeah, a lot of his album has been on my playlist. Francis is my favorite song off the album. That is my song. And if somebody wrote a song about me the way Tucker wrote about Emma and Francis, I would literally give that man head for the rest of his life. Sometimes I feel like I should not say stuff, but I do end up saying it. I feel like some thoughts are meant to stay up here, but I don't know those boundaries. Do you know what I mean? This is my podcast. I can say whatever I want, and you're choosing to listen to it. So if something makes you uncomfortable, that's not my problem. I mean, it is if I'm saying something uncomfortable that like offends people or like is racist or sexist or homophobic or anything like that. But as long as I know I'm not doing any of those things, mind your business. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. But yeah, also guys, I've been wearing a lot. So I've been, taking care of my skin. I got a facial too on Friday. Okay? Didn't just pamper her. I pampered my face too. Okay? I want my skin to be clear for Europe. I want to look good. And the lady that I go to, she's like my second mommy. I love her so much. She is literally the sweetest person ever. Anytime I go and get facials with her, I just always feel this peace. I feel like I release so much. I love having conversation with her. Her energy, her aura, everything about her is just so perfect. I love that woman. I love her so much. And I was telling her like, oh, like yeah, I've been going to the gym. She's like, oh, okay, I see you getting ready for Europe. I was like, yeah, yeah. And I also changed my braces bands too, guys. They're like a blue now. Wearing a little bit of blue for the Vogue party. Got a little blue going on. That's me with my braces. I got a little blue going on for the Europe trip. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to get away from my routine for a little bit. I'm excited to get away from home, be across the world. Mrs. Worldwide is what they call me. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet new people. I'm excited to eat pastries and gelato from Italy. Because gelato from Italy is so good. I remember. Oh my god. Excuse me. I remember the last time I was in Venice. I won't be going to Venice this time, but when I was in Venice for one day, I kid you not, that day I ate like 6 gelatos in one day. And I had no shame. And I'll do it again. And you would too for a check. Actually, nobody paid me to do that. But you would too. You would too. If you were in Italy and you know that it was your last day in Venice, you would eat 6 gelatos too because you know you're not going to get gelato like that anymore for a while. God knows when's the next time I'm going to go back, is what I said to myself. And then I ate 6 gelatos and almost threw up. But I don't give a gas. I'll do it again. And when I'm in Rome for 4 days, what am I going to do? Starve gelato down my throat. Like mama taught me. My mama never taught me that. I'm so sorry, mom, for catching strays. But yeah, um, I I'm almost at 30 minutes, and I feel like I've talked just nonsense. But I need to get an episode up. I still have 2 more assignments to go, and they're due Monday, so tomorrow. I'm gonna finish one more assignment up. It's about, I have to talk about an STD. I have to make a presentation and inform people about an STD. I think that's also why the topic of sex was brought up, just because it's on my mind right now, because it's an assignment that I have to do. But I have to do that, and then I also have to do an observation because, as you guys know, I'm a child development major. So, what do you do when you're in child development? You do observations, and I have one to turn in pretty soon. And then that's it for this week. And then next week, I have like 2 more assignments, and then I'm fully done with my semester, my spring semester. And I'm excited about that. And I've been doing really good. I'm definitely ending the semester with good grades. So, everybody clap for me. I deserve this trip to Europe because I worked my ass off. I've stayed extra hours at work too to make more money for my trip. Being such a responsible adult, and I'm excited to run away from the country and be irresponsible in another country for a little while. It's what I deserve. And again, I said it last podcast, and I'm going to say it this time. I'm excited to drink an Aperol Spritz. I am. I'm excited to be tipsy on the streets of Rome. Hopefully, being given a piggyback ride by a big, strong, 6 foot tall, curly haired Italian man. Anyways, I don't know what else to talk about. I feel like a lot of the shit that I said on this episode was nonsense, and my mom might get me in trouble if she watches this episode because she's gonna be like, "Why are you talking about that on the internet?" But then I'm gonna proceed to remind her, I know I live under your house still, but I am an adult. This is my YouTube channel and my podcast. And as an adult, you go through adult things like sex and Brazilian waxes. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And if you can't handle it, then I don't know what to tell you. Um, but yeah. Oh my god, guys! Actually, I want to share a story because I think I got secondhand high the other day when I was walking to work. If you don't know what secondhand high is, most of you probably do, but in case you don't know, it's basically when kind of like secondhand smoke. You, if you're around a person who's smoking weed and you inhale and it goes into your body and your lungs, you can get high off of just inhaling another person's smoke. Believe it or not. It probably won't get you as high as a person who's actually inhaling it and smoking, but it does get you woozy. And basically, I was walking to work as I usually tend to do. I was at a stoplight and I smelt the weed. Okay. I didn't turn around to see who the person behind me was, but I knew there was somebody right behind me that had a blunt or something that was very potent because I could smell the weed just smacked me in the face. And it was too late before I could hold my breath. And I just saw this like huge cloud of smoke. Sorry, guys. I am low-key a little bit tired. I'm going to bed early. So by this time, I'm already starting to get sleepy. I still have an assignment to do. I should get to that instead of talking fucking nonsense into this microphone, but whatever. Anyways, it was too late before I felt, you know. And obviously, I took a big deep breath in, deep breath out because I hate the smell. So I was just kind of trying to be discreet and I kind of go, you know, trying to hold my breath and release it, but whatever. So I guess in those little inhales, exhales that I did, I inhaled weed smoke. And then for the rest of the walk to work, my music was starting to sound a little too good. And I did start to feel a little weird. And I would look at the ground I was walking on and I was like, this is starting to trip me out. It could have just simply been placebo effect, but I felt very weird. And I don't remember exactly what song I was listening to, but I remember that shit sounded way too good. Like high, I am high and I'm listening to music type of good. So I was like, okay, something's going on in my body. And I was a little freaked out and I started to get paranoid because I was like, what if I show up to work all stupid? But luckily, I just got to work, drank a lot of water, and then after like a few more minutes, I was fine. So I'm pretty sure it was just placebo effect because I have anxiety and it's very easy for me to convince myself that I'm dying or something. And in that moment, I was convinced that I got secondhand high. But yeah, it was pretty scary. So be careful. If you don't, and especially because, like I said, I've said before, I don't smoke weed, so I don't have a high tolerance for it at all, obviously. And yeah, and I've had secondhand high before. Last time Leah was here, Leah, shout out to you too if you're watching this. Last time Leah was down here in California, and we were in LA, and we were and we went to a 90s night, 90s and early 2000s night, like a club night, and there were people literally doing poppers. I had never seen, like, I knew what poppers were. I have heard about poppers. I have never seen anybody do poppers. Am I gonna get in trouble on YouTube for talking about this? Okay, whatever. This is my channel. I can talk about whatever I want. And it's not like I'm showing it. I'm just talking about what happened. There were literal people doing poppers around me. And I was like, this is actually insane. Like, when people said that LA was crazy, it's crazy, y'all. It's really crazy. Literally, I turned. Leah and I were dancing, and we both like turned, and we literally saw a guy go. I was like, I turned back to Leah. We make eye contact. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? Next to me, somebody else is fucking playing baby hit me one more time. the guys next to me are like two white guys and they're freaking skiing. And then the guys behind us, they literally look like high schoolers. First of all, they didn't I'm not even gonna lie, they didn't even look like they were old enough to be there. And I just saw them popping poppers. I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here because God knows what is going up in the atmosphere, in the air, and God knows how much shit we've inhaled just being here. And I stood corrected because literally we left the club, we were in the car, and we both looked at each other and we were like, oh, you feel stupid too, don't you? I was like, we were like, yeah. I looked at Leah, I was like, dude, I have second, I'm high right now. I'm high right now. And we didn't touch a single substance that night. I didn't even drink alcohol. Leah doesn't drink. I do, but I didn't even drink alcohol. We didn't smoke. We didn't do anything. And we both were high as shit. Um, yeah, we didn't touch a single substance that night, and somehow we got high as hell, which was really scary. So that also had me conclude that I would never go party in LA ever again. No more parties in LA. Mm-mm. Because people out there are crazy, and a lot of the people are there are white. Nothing wrong with white people. There's just a specific type of white people that I would not party with, and it's the white people from LA. You constantly, like when we were there at the club, we both talked about it too. Everybody was so beyond judgmental, it's insane. And keep in mind, I'm a girl from San Diego. So when I go party, or the times that I've gone to party, I've been to Gas Lamp, Gas Lamp Quarter, and it's vibes. It's a lot of different types of people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities. A lot of the places that you go to play reggaeton and music in Spanish, whatever. But in LA, you definitely can feel like the judgment. You can feel that people care about shit that you shouldn't care about. Like you can just feel how entitlement. You can feel the entitlement. That's the word I was looking for. You can feel the entitlement in people partying in LA, specifically in Hollywood and West Hollywood. Like you can just feel it in the air and the atmosphere and their vibe and the way they carry themselves. And it's just not cool. It's not cool for ordinary people like me to party in those areas. I didn't like it. I don't recommend. I feel like if I do party down near that area, I would prefer to be in like Anaheim or Santa Ana where there's more culture. But in West Hollywood and WeHo, where all the entitled white people are, it's just not fun. It's not fun. I feel like WeHo is the equivalent to Pacific Beach in San Diego. I've never partied in Pacific Beach, but I've heard a lot of bad stuff about Pacific Beach, so I'm gonna just assume it's the same vibes. But yeah, hopefully partying in Europe is completely different. I've heard that the clubs in Europe go crazy, y'all. I've heard that motherfuckers don't go to bed until like 6 in the morning. Sun is rising and people are barely leaving the club. Like you leave the club to go have breakfast type shit. It's not like you're leaving, not like here where you're like, okay, night's over, time to go home, go to bed at 2 a.m. No, at 2 a.m., you're finishing up getting ready to head out to the club. And at 6 a.m., you're leaving the club to go get your brunch breakfast. And you're back home in bed by like 9, 10 a.m. And what do you do for the rest of the day? I don't know, probably sleep. Are Leah and I gonna do that while we're out in Europe? Probably. Maybe we're gonna try one night, but also who knows because jet lag is a bitch. But hopefully, jet lag doesn't catch up on us too quickly. But yeah, I'm very excited, y'all, for everything that's coming. I'm excited for spring break. I'm excited for my outfit. I'm also getting my nails done next week, which I'm excited for too. I need to maintain these. And I'm also another habit I'm trying to break. I'm trying to stop biting my cuticles. So hopefully having my nails done, usually when I have my nails done, it helps me a lot stop biting them. But this week I've been pretty good about it. I've been playing with a little pop-it in my hand during work and stuff, and that's helped a lot. But like I said, hopefully having my nails done helps a lot too, because like obviously I don't want to ruin my pretty nails by biting them or biting my cuticles. So that'll definitely help. But yeah, I really have nothing else to talk about. I wanted to just get something out there because I am trying to be more consistent. I will probably next week not upload a podcast episode because I do have a lot to do. I have to pack, I have to get my eyebrows done, I have to get my nails done, I have to get my shit together. But then, so maybe, possibly, we'll see. I'm gonna check in with Leah and see what's up. But maybe my next episode will be on my plane ride on my way to Paris. And maybe my special guest will be my best friend Leah, who I'm going to Europe with. So we'll see, guys. Next episode might potentially be with a special guest. Already having special guests, then it'll only be episode 3. Wow. How awesome of me. You guys are so spoiled. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like it was kind of all over the place and very stupid. I feel like I said a lot of stupid things. Keep in mind it is very late at night too, so I am tired and I am a little delirious. Delirious, is that the word? So please bear with me. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you have a great rest of your nights or days or yeah. Take care and I will see you soon. Bye bye.